Hello guys, here it's Emmanuel from DiceTuga and we are finally in December, time for Christmas, time for a new this case top 20 list of my favorite games of all time. Why am I making this list and how am I making this list? So first, why? It's last year I made also a top 10 list of favorite games, and by doing this year list where I played way more games than last year when I started my hobby, I realized that a lot of games, well, as you can imagine, literally got out of my previous list, and a lot more others entered in my list. But some of them stayed and some of them stayed in the same position, which is curious. About the how am I making this list, I'm only considering games that I played more than 1 or 2 times, so there is no games that I played only once, and you'll see a lot of good titles that I love playing them the first time, but for me, in order for you to really know a game, you need to play it more than twice, and in different situations. But I had to leave the ones where I played it once out, and so you won't see a lot of the games that I like to play during the year. I also only considered games that I own or that are currently available for you to buy. There will be no Kickstarter, even though I played some Kickstarter, for example Copan, The Dying City. I love that game. I think it will be one of my favorite games as well. It is not going to be in this top 20 list of games. So no Kickstarters and no games that I played only once. So that's it for the rules. Just want to let you know that during the video I might be looking down a couple of times. It's just because I want to be able to pronounce the names of the designers properly, and so I have the BGG page of all the games of this list right in front of me, so I'm looking at my phone while I'm doing this video. It's just to be able to pronounce their names correctly. And you know, like I've said in my previous video, I do not remember all the names. I'm just getting old. Also, the video will be split in 2 parts. So today we have part 1, and I will be putting days after the part 2. And right now we were going to go from the number 20 until number 11, and from the number 10 until the number 1 in the next video. It's basic top 10 lists, right? So nothing fantastic. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. I have to say that this list surprised me. I was not expecting some titles to be in this list. I was like wondering, some of these titles are my favorite games of all time. Considering the rules that I applied, yes, they are, because I play them more often than any other game that I own. And so that's why I consider if you play a game more than once, it's because the rulebook is accessible, it's an easy game to teach, it's an easy game to learn, you grasp the game faster, and so you will play it more times. So if you play that game more times and if it doesn't suck, then it means that it's one of your favorites, right? So that's why it surprised me. So number 20. Number 20 is a game from a Portuguese designer where you have, quite a big board, and you can play from 1 to 4 players, I believe. Let me check here. Yes, 1 to 4 players. I play this game with my daughter. We love it. And I find it really nice because I kind of feel like I am teaching her math without really teaching her. Like you need to do some sums, divisions, multiplication, subtractions, and we do this playing instead of being kind of work. And this game is a game from a Portuguese designer. It's Fábio Lima, and it's Hercules. We are loving this game. This was a very good surprise. You play as an apprentice of Hercules, and the goal is to reach to the end, to the position, I think it's 12, yeah, to the position 12. And you have several actions, so you need to consult the oracle at the beginning of each turn. So you throw dice, and you have 2 dices, and you need to decide, okay, which which mathematical operation do I want to do? Do I want to do a sum? Do I want to do a subtraction? So you want to free spots so that your apprentice moves forward to reach to the 12 space. But along the way, you also want to collect some cards that give you endpoints bonuses, or can give you current bonuses when you are playing, like re-roll a dice or switch the side of the dice, something like that. And it's very nice because you want to maximize the spots that you can move forward. So you are going to maybe focus yourself on removing as much as you can of spaces that are next to each other. We have a blast. Every time we have a blast. I was very surprised by this one. So it's Portuguese designer, so it's close to my heart. Fabio Lima, and published by boardgames. So it's now available, of course, in Portugal, but I recently saw that they are also available in Germany. So if you see this game and you want to have fun with your kids, I totally recommend Hercules. Number 19. Number 19 is a game that exploits a very well-known system, and by just saying these words you probably know which game I'm talking about. But it's one, again, that, you know, I tend to be curious about games designed by Portuguese designers, or games published by Portuguese publishers. But also I am always interested by games that have a theme of Portugal, and so I also tend to be curious about those games like Porto, Rossio, Pessoa, Coimbra. All of those games, it's close to my heart. It's Portugal, it's my country, and I love it. And so every time I see something having a theme about Portugal, I'm always curious to see and to try the game. And this one is, well, from Z-Man Games. You know what it is, right? So it's Pandemic Iberia. I have a blast playing this solo cooperatively, so controlling two characters, but I have also the same fun playing it with other people. I played it with my girlfriend, I played it with my sister, and we had a blast. It was really cool. I really enjoy Iberia as a particular thing that you can move by boat, and yeah, it's really in the theme, like in the old ages, and it's a game that is very easy to teach. It's also very easy to learn. My sister is not a gamer. She never really played board games, and she immediately grasped and understood the pandemic system. So I understand that this is often used as an introductory game, the base game, but yeah, Iberia is close to my heart. I didn't play the legacy games, so I still need to try, but they are quite expensive, and I don't feel paying like 80 euros for a game that is legacy, where I have to destroy components. But you already know about me and about destroying components, right? So I don't need to go in detail. So number 19, Pandemic Iberia, and I cannot forget, it's designed by Jesus Torres Castro and Matt Leacock. Okay. Oh man, I'm going to be probably expelled from a certain Instagram group that I belong, but this game, even though I still enjoy it, I think that I got a bit tired of the theme, not because of the game, but because of how the theme is used nowadays. It's a bit too much, and I'm a bit tired and a bit disappointed with all the movies that are coming out. And that made me a little bit, put me a bit away from this one, which was in my top 10 last year. Yes, my friends, we are talking about Marvel Champions. The first time I played Marvel, I really had a blast. I mean, the first times, all the times that I played Marvel, the only time I didn't really, I was a bit frustrated was the first time that I played Iron Man. I didn't really understood how it worked, so I was always using Spider-Man. It's my favorite character. But then I start to understand a bit more of Iron Man worked and how asymmetric all the characters and villains can be. I love to play against the Goblin, and with Spider-Man it's just so thematic. You have your favorite villains and your favorite heroes, and you can play with them. And it's so easy to learn and to play. It's super fast. But yeah, to be honest with you, I played it once this year. Yes, I played it once this year. Just because I'm getting tired of all the Marvel thingy that Disney does. I recently went to watch Black Panther, that I was really hoping to be one of my favorite movies of the year, and it's not. It's not bad movie, but it's just disappointed. I'm disappointed with it, and nothing to do with the game, but I think it went down on my list because of those external things. And I also stopped buying all the expansions. It's just too much, and there is only one LCG that I'm dedicating myself. Because yeah, otherwise I don't have money to eat. So that's it. That's my number 18, Marvel Champions. Still a great game, but for external reasons I'm not picking it up as often. And there's even less of it. Number 17. Number 17 is a game that for a long time I was looking for it in an English version because you could not find. Finally I got it in English, and I paid quite a bit of money for it. I still want to get the expansion, but also the same thing, it's very difficult to find in English. And it's a game about Vikings. Yes, it's about Vikings. You can explore territories, you can do day-to-day activities. But again, you should focus yourself on doing some activities and not everything on this game, because you might get to the end of the game and feel like you didn't achieve much. Yes, I'm talking about A Feast for Odin. This is a Uwe Rosenberg game. It's a 1 to 4 players, and yeah, I really enjoy this game. It went down on my list just because I'm not taking it out as much as I wanted to. But overall, it's a game that kind of gives me some relaxation moments, like most of Uwe Rosenberg games, like Agricola and Glass Road and stuff like that. It's not something that, certainly if you play it solo, it's not something that is super aggressive, and there is very little take that on these games. But it's a very pretty game. Some people don't like the art, but I find that the art is like special, you know, for this kind of games. And so for me, it's the kind of game that I like to expose and to show, because it's a really nice box. Yeah, I really enjoy this game. I want to take it more often, but with so many games right now, it's very difficult to play all of the games that I have. I only played it once this year. But I'm hoping to play it again soon. Number 16. Number 16, if you go to the BGG page, it has currently a rating of 6.1. I find it completely unfair. This rating is about not the quality of the game, but about an issue that there was, because this was a Kickstart game. That an issue that there was between the designer and the publisher, something like that, and between the publisher and the backers. And so people just decided to rate this game down because they were frustrated. I understand about the frustration, but the quality of the game, you are affecting the work of the designer. The game is good, you know, like the game is really good. It's not a 6.1 at all, and that game is Unbroken. Unbroken is a solo-only game, so for people that are like, oh, solo mode, why? If I want to play solo, I play a console. Well, yeah, but then go and play video game. But for me, playing a solo game here on a board game is the same thing as playing a video game on a console or on PC. I want to enjoy the experience. So nothing against playing video games, because I do it all the time, but solo games, we should just stop with that. Solo games are just came to stay. They are more and more popular. There is massive board games right now that are solo only, and actually they are having maybe expansions to be able to play it multiplayer. So it's just something that is going to be more than normal, so just accept it and that's it. But about this game, yeah, you are escaping kind of a dungeon, and you have several levels. You will encounter different monsters, but in the meanwhile, before you encounter them and fight with them, you can craft and upgrade your different skills. It's a game that, I mean, it's this size. I mean, look, this size, but it has a lot of table presence. You have 2 boards, and you have 2 other kind of sheets of paper that track your actions, and so it's a very, very neat and solid game. I also really like the art. You have, I think, 4 characters, or yeah, I think 4 characters in the box. Unbroken. Stop rating a game just because you're frustrated towards the publisher. I understand that if you rate a game negative, you are maybe affecting the sales of a publisher, but this is a really good game, does not deserve 6.1 rating on BGG. Number 15. Number 15 is a small box game that I will take it everywhere. As soon as I start playing this game, I fell in love. I enjoyed the challenge that it is. I lost, and still I love this game. Again, it's a solo only game. Really liked it. The way that it tells you, you know, sometimes I just really enjoy. And this is a game from Friedman Freeze, published by Rio Grande Games, and it's Friday. This game, it's awesome. Like that, the rules are so simple, and it comes in a small box like this that you can take everywhere. You have cards, you have 3 boards in it. You have even wood components, and it all fits in this small box. And it just, you can play game after game. The first time I played it, I played 2 games in a row. The second time, same thing. It just really, really good. I thought that maybe when I saw it, I was like, it took me a while to get it because I wanted the English version and I would only find the German or Dutch version. So finally I got my hands on the English one. This costs like 10-15 euros, like so cheap and so great. So I really truly recommend this one. If you guys like to take games on your holidays and you play it solo, just take this one, because this is really I'm impressed. I'm really impressed by this one. I was not expecting it to be so good. This looks inoffensive and looks that yeah, it's just a card game with the same head over and over again. But it's so challenging. You need to think ahead so many times and to think, okay, what is the best action to do now? Because you have different levels of actions, okay, and difficulties, and you might choose to go for one that is easier to tackle in the first era. I think it's eras, or periods. You have 3 periods. So in the first periods, like your challenges are easy. You can go for easier challenges, but as soon as you move up in the eras, your challenges become more difficult, and you need to try to eliminate cards that can be a problem in future periods, and that's all very interesting how it works, and how you throw a card away and the way that it comes back after and punishes you. I mean, this is great. This for me it's a masterpiece. This is a game that everybody should own. So yeah, my number 15, Friday. Number 14. Oh my god, I love this game. Number 14 gave me already so many good experiences. It's a game that is going to stay in my collection forever. Never going to sell this one. This is my first pick up and delivery game. It's an horror game, but it's a game that you can even play with your kids. It's not scary at all, but the theme is so well implemented, and it's funny because how can an horror theme be implemented well if it doesn't scare you? Well, I can tell you something, this one implements the theme way better than Mansions of Madness. I had one of the worst experience playing the Mansions of Madness. It's, for me, one of the biggest disappointments in board gaming for me. Didn't like Mansions of Madness at all. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know the whole story. But this one has nothing to do with Mansions of Madness, but I find that the theme is way better implemented and it's horrified. This game is a blast. It's a very easy to learn, easy to teach game. You can play this game with people that never played board games, and I played it with my girlfriend, my sister. You can play it alone, so this is 1 to 5 players. You can control 2 characters when you play it alone, and yeah, just a blast. You have different monsters. You have Dracula, you have Frankenstein and his wife. You have the Wolfman, you have the Creature of the Lake, the Mummy, and the Invisible Man. There is also the new version, which is Horrified American Monsters. I wanted to get, but it kinda frustrates me a little bit that it's not an expansion, that it's a standalone game. Because I kinda wanted to mix and match the different, the different monsters and the different villagers. But yeah, it's just another standalone game. So I kinda wait for the price on that one to go lower. Because I really like the monsters. They are really asymmetric, and each monster is kind of a mini game. It's very simple, there's nothing complex about this game, but I have loads of fun. And so, yeah, this is my number 14. This is designed by Prospero All. Okay, designed by Prospero All, and the publisher is Ravensburger. So, yeah. Totally recommend. If you have kids, this is one to go. Totally recommend. Number 14, Horrified. Go and have a look. Number 13. Number 13, it's a game that it's been a while that I don't pick it up, and I should because I need to finish the story. I was curious. I got it because just because. Nothing about the cover or about the theme interested me. The only thing that made me bring that game home was the storybook. The storybook is beautiful. I don't stop bragging about the storybook. If you see my Instagram posts about this game, I always put in evidence the storybook. It's just gorgeous. It looks like a real book. And the game is Robin Hood, The Adventures of Robin Hood. This is a great game. Very simple, again, nothing complex. And a game doesn't need to be complex always, all the time, to be enjoyable. Sometimes you need just like some peace and quiet and just sit down, place the board on the table, read some pages and do what you're supposed to do. This is an exploration game, so you have a map and you have a storybook. You need to read the chapters of the storybook, but after you need to move your adventurers like Robin Hood and his friends through the map and uncovering, because it's kind of in the map you have like some places where you can flip some of the places to reveal something, and so that's it. You have some goals in each chapter, and you need to achieve those goals by moving through the map. It's very nice, very relaxing, and yeah, that's simple. It's just curious because I never really cared about Robin Hood, but I really enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed the game, and so I need to finish it because I didn't finish yet. So this is designed by Michael Menzel and published by Cosmos. This is a 1 to 4 players. If you play solo, you control all the characters, but don't worry, it's not that difficult. It just gives you the opportunity to play more of the game, so, and less analysis paralysis, because other players could take some time to make their decisions, but like that you know where it is that you want to go with your heroes. So that's it. That's my number 13, The Adventures of Robin Hood. Number 12 is another game designed by another Portuguese designer. This one very close friend to me, and very special to me. Well, don't need to describe more because you probably, the ones that follow me already know which game I'm talking about. I did a giveaway of this game recently, and it's nothing else than Pessoa. What can I say about Pessoa that I didn't say already? I mean, you guys can go and see my review. This is designed by Orlando Sá, published by Pythagoras, and yeah, I said everything that I needed to say about this game. This is a game that gives me some peace of mind. I play it. It's very thematic. You play. It's about Fernando Pessoa, one of the most well-known writers of Portugal, and you have a board. Actually, you can see it here. You have a board, a beautiful board like this. It's a worker placement game. You can place your meeples in different locations and do the actions of that specific location. But you also have, that's a particularity of the game, you also have the possibility to switch from the physical world to the mental world of Pessoa. So you can either control Pessoa or you can control the heteronym of Pessoa. Which is the different personalities that Pessoa had. I never read Pessoa. I don't care at all about poetry, and I still was able to find enjoyment in this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I just did a giveaway. So if you didn't participate, well, sorry, but you lost the opportunity to win a great game. So this is my number 12, and it's very dear to me. Yeah, this one will stay forever in my collection. It's very, very special to me. So number 12, Pessoa. And finally we get to number 11, the last game of this video, and this game was special. This game, I played this game just before, for the first time, just before the Ukrainian war, and it's it's a difficult game. Difficult not in terms of mechanics, you probably know which game I'm talking about, but difficult in terms of the things that happen in the game that sometimes touch in that spot, and you're like, damn man. That was hard. So I understand that some people don't play often this game. I actually playing it. I played it already 3 times. But yeah, it's a game that doesn't go often, and it's a game to the table, and it's a game that needs to stay. If you are like, if you don't die, that's the thing. If you are able to keep yourself alive, it's a game that can stretch. So, and well, the game is, of course, This War of Mine, by 11-bit Studios, but also Awaken Realms. This is designed by Michael Orax and Jakub Wisniewski. I'm so sorry if I pronounced this, but yeah, those are the names that are on BGG. This is a game that has a storybook. So you have a lot of cards and a lot of event cards, a lot of rebel cards, a lot of things in this game, as it is typical from Awaken Realms. But it's a game about war, and you have you control 3 characters. You can control a maximum of 4. If you lose, if all of them die for several reasons, disease, they were killed or something, you lose the game. But yeah, it's sometimes the encounters that you have when you are exploring and stuff. There is some hard decisions that you need to make, because it's either you or them, and that's what makes this game special. I think everybody should play this game at least once to enjoy part of the story. I got everything for this game. I got the expansions that I still didn't open, because this is a game that I want to dig in more into depth. And yeah, great game. I totally recommend. And this is the number 11. This went down from my list just because I don't play it as often, but still one of the best games that there is out there. Very extremely thematic. If I have to evaluate about the theme, this is one of the most thematic games that I have. where you really feel the war feeling. And of course, I am lucky enough to never had to go through war, so I cannot talk for people that went through it, but I can say that I feel sometimes very not at ease when I'm playing this game, because the situations that you encounter are not always easy to take. So yeah, so this war of mine, that's it, that's my number 11. So that was it, guys. These were my first 10 games of my top 20 list of games of all time. Keep in mind, this is my opinion, this is my list. We all have different opinions, so do not be too rude in the comments. Again, this is being made for kind of investigation purpose, if we can call it like that. So yeah, I'm curious to see how the list of next year will look like. So that's it. Stay tuned for the first part of the video from my top 10 games of all time. It's going to be interesting. I was a bit surprised, so yeah, it's going to be cool. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe in the channel, leave a like if you don't want to subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your opinion about these games that I talk about. Is there any of these games that you enjoy, that you know that you don't like, that you hate? And follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and also now on Facebook, so where I post daily. So have a nice one, guys. See you next time.